So last week on Battlefield 1's Best Weapons, we looked at the top 3 marksman rifles as voted for by the community, and the British SMLE came out on top. No surprises there. This week, however, we're looking at a weapon class that has a lot more variety. It's time to find out what has been voted as the best pistol in Battlefield 1. Okay, so this week's votes were locked in on Wednesday the 14th of February, because yet again, I'm off to an event and I've had to cram my entire week's worth of work into 3 days. I'm currently in Canada and it's about -10 Celsius outside. Great fun. Nearly 8,000 votes were cast in this week's poll, which is one of the highest returns we've had so far, and considering there were way more options you could choose from, it was quite nice to see such a nice spread of votes as well. But of course, we're only interested in the top 3. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video to find out what weapon category you'll be voting on for next week. Okay, let's get things going then. In third place, we have a weapon introduced with the Russian DLC, and it certainly takes the award for one of the most unique sidearms in Battlefield 1. With 979 votes taking 13% of the poll, we have the Obrez pistol. Taking on the form of a miniature bolt-action rifle, the Obrez is one of the more powerful sidearms in the game, but takes a certain player to really make proper use of it. The Obrez pistol is an extremely deadly weapon when used in the right way. You sacrifice speed and efficiency for extreme power and up-close damage. This weapon can be absolutely destructive to people inside 10 meters. I'd go as far to say as you could make it your primary weapon if you wanted to, running around with it out most of the time rather than using the primary weapon that you actually picked. And speaking of inside 10 meters, that's where the Obrez will deal its maximum 100 damage, knocking any player out of the game entirely unless they're using an elite kit. The damage then drops off to a minimum of 45 at 35 meters, so certainly it's a weapon you'll want by your side in a close quarters situation. At range, its effectiveness is certainly lessened, but 45 damage per shot is really nothing to be sniffed at. You'll still be out damaging most cartridge-fed pistols at that kind of range. The real disadvantage of the Obrez is its slow rate of fire. Because it is essentially a cut-down bolt-action rifle, you'll need to rechamber in between each shot you fire, and that gives you something to think about when you actually want to use it. If you know you've got the jump on somebody, and you've got a chance to find cover, then sure, go for the shot. But if you're looking at more than one enemy, then chances are, despite your high damage output, you're probably going to be left dead on the ground by at least one of those players. 5 rounds in a magazine is going to give you enough to take down multiple targets, provided there is enough space in between those targets time-wise that you can rechamber each round. I can see why this is a popular pistol with the community, because there really isn't anything else like it in Battlefield 1. It's kind of similar to the Mare's Leg in Battlefield 4. There really isn't anything else like it, and when you use it, it does feel rather different. So, that's the Obrez taking third place, and I'm confident that second place this week is purely a meme, and that's reinforced by the amount of comments I've gotten on last week's episode from people telling me to enjoy myself trying to get kills with it. Second place this week goes to the Calibri with 1,239 votes and 16% of the poll. You guys were totally right. This was quite difficult to try and get kills with, even when I switched to a hardcore server to speed up the process, because of course, I don't have that much time this week. The Calibri is just a troll weapon anyway. I mean, look at it. It's tiny, it does very little damage, unless you go for headshots. That's where the power is, despite it being a very small weapon. Interestingly, in the game's code, the Calibri is listed as having a maximum 100 damage, so there's got to be some kind of weird multipliers working in the background to reduce that, but I'm sure that's the birth of people stating the Calibri is the most powerful gun in the game. The 2mm Calibri cartridge that the Calibri fires is the world's smallest commercially available centrafire cartridge, and get this, each round weighs just 5.3 grams. The Calibri pistol in real life is somewhat inaccurate as well. When it was developed in 1914, there wasn't an instrument small enough to apply the rifling to the bore, so the bullet didn't spin as a result. Now, with it taking second place, I'm still inclined to believe you guys did this to make my life difficult, but honestly, I really don't care. I even encouraged people to vote for it on Twitter last week. I thought it would be really cool to add this into the video. So that's the Obrez in third place and the Calibri in second place. That leaves the top spot this week. This is an all-kit, cartridge-fed pistol designed and perfected by the Americans just before World War I started. The best pistol in Battlefield 1 is, of course, the M1911, with 2,007 votes taking 26% of the overall poll. I'm personally not surprised in the slightest to see the M1911 take the top spot here, and personally, I'm very glad that it did. This is by far and away my favourite pistol in the game, and I have every sidearm variant of it unlocked and service starred. There's the standard M1911, the Hellfighter 1911, and my personal favourite, the Doughboy 1911. Part of the reason why I think this weapon is so well liked in the Battlefield 1 community is its versatility and its power. Inside 10 meters, you'll need just 3 shots to take down a player, max damage of 35. At range, that bullet to kill value drops to 7, but most likely you won't be using it at that range anyway. Anywhere out to 20 meters or so, that's where it's going to do you proud, either 3, 4 or 5 bullets to kill, and I think that's pretty normal for a sidearm. Rate of fire is nice and steady, not allowing for too much recoil and spread to kick in before you run out of bullets, and it performs fairly well when fired from the hip and moving. That's actually my preferred use of sidearms in Battlefield 1 anyway, but that's more due to the lack of customization and the fact that I won't transition from having played Battlefield 4 for 3 years. In Battlefield 4, you could stick a red dot sight on there alongside a laser sight for better hipfire accuracy, but here in Battlefield 1, you just don't get that luxury. What I like most of all about the M1911 is its rarity in certain cases. The Doughboy variant has so far only been handed out to people who have the collector's edition of Battlefield 1, making it one of the rarest weapons in the game, alongside developer weapons like the Howder Pistol Sweeper and the C96 Export. I'm lucky enough to have it in my inventory, so I use it whenever it's possible to use it, and although I like the rarity aspect and I think it's a big puller for the Doughboy 1911, it would be cool if DICE allowed more players to unlock it now via some kind of assignment or something. So, there you are then. The best pistol in Battlefield 1 is, of course, the M1911. Next week, however, we'll be looking at the sniper rifle variants in Battlefield 1, those big, powerful scope bolt action rifles from the Scout class, and you guys are going to be deciding which is best. Head down into the description, click the link to the straw poll, leave your vote, and tell me what you guys think is the best sniper rifle in Battlefield 1. And in the comments today, let me know if you'd like me to do like a big episode taking the #1 voted weapon from each poll so far and then putting them into their own poll and doing like an ultimate best weapon in Battlefield 1 video. Let me know down below if you'd like me to do that. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.